My name is Sally Rettman, R-E-T-T-M-A-N.
And where were you born?
I was born in Poland. I was born in Poland. And I came to America right after the war. And I married in 1939, 38. And then unfortunately, we were not too long together because my husband was shipped to a different camp and I was from the ghetto and I was shipped to a different and we were separated, and for maybe 3.5 years after the war we got together. God was good to us.
How did that happen? Tell us how that happened, how you got together.
When we got together, I was actually 7 weeks in a hospital after the war. But I was liberated in Czechoslovakia, and I got froze up my legs, which I spent my legs, and now my legs were like this, couldn't walk. So the Czech took me to the hospital in Czechoslovakia. The Czech are not so good to the Jews, I want you to know. But the Czechoslovakia, yes. There are two different things, Czech and Czechoslovakia. And I was 7 weeks there. They were very nice to me. I was 3-4 times a day. They took me to a bathtub, lukewarm water, to massage my legs. And then I was with a friend of mine. She didn't leave me for a minute from my hometown, Będzin in Poland. And when I was out of the hospital, we were going in Prague. This was in Prague already, because I was liberated in Czechoslovakia. So I went to the Jewish Community Center and I registered myself, and I went to the Jewish organization there, where we took care of the Häftlinge. You know, we were the Häftlinge. And they gave me a ticket. I should go and do in that place. I should be able to be there overnight because I didn't know where to go. So thank God I found that place, the Jewish place. There I found my husband's sister. She said, "Come out, Sally, come out, lay down here with me." I said, "Honey, I would love to, but I have my girlfriend with me. She was so taking care, beautiful of me, I couldn't leave her." So we went out from there, and we were only allowed to go to 7 o'clock. After 7, you can be arrested. So we went down to the station, and I had a little blanket. That's what I was wearing, a dress, no underwear, nothing. I was 61 pounds I weighed, 61. And I had a little blanket with me, and I put it on the ground and I fell asleep with my girlfriend there. Then the train came from Poland to Prague. And a friend of mine who knows me from school, he said, "Sally, Sally, Sally." She recognized me. And she said, this was in Prague on the station. She said, "I saw you, Jack, yesterday in Będzin with his sister." He was liberated maybe 3-4 weeks before me because he was in a different camp. And when I found this out, I went to the Jewish Community Center and I asked for permission for the train. I didn't have no tickets to buy money for a ticket to Poland. And I went and took us normally from Prague to my hometown would take, before the war, maybe 5 hours by train, the most. Here it took me a day and a night. And the Russian was so not pleasant. The soldiers, Poland was liberated from the Russian that time. And we came into my hometown. And I came home in my hometown. What can I tell you something? I went right away to the house where my sister lived, in her own house. He stayed with his sister. And I came into my hometown was Będzin, where was maybe 5 o'clock in the morning. How can I go to knock on the door 5 o'clock to somebody's house? So I sit on the steps. It was a 6-story house. This was my sister-in-law's house. And she lives on the first floor. And I wait till 6 o'clock, 6:30, then I knocked on the door. And her girlfriend came out, my sister-in-law's girlfriend. She stayed with a friend. And she didn't know me. She said, "Are you Sally?" I said, "Yes." She said, "Just a minute." So she went into the other room where my husband was asleep. He said, "Jack, a lady wants to see you here. Would you like to come out?" And she said, "Just a minute." I put on my pants and because he was dressed in the pajama, "I give you the permission, you can go out in the pajama." He came out. What happened? My husband fainted on the floor and he saw me.
Wow.
Why? Because some of my friends saw my husband in the city. It's impossible to say we'll be alive. She went through so much with her legs. It's impossible. Somehow I survived. And then I live in Berlin with my sister-in-law a while, and my husband with 3 boys from school, boys. They have a typewriter and make papers. What do you mean the papers? We had a lot of boys there in our town because Berlin was a 60% Jewish town. And he made out false papers to send the boys to Palestine. That time was Palestine. But they went only to Italy, because in Italy was the Palestine boys, the Jewish boys waiting for this. They were in contact, but nobody, this was a secret that time. And so the Russian would know what my husband's doing, he would be long not alive. And he made out the false papers for the Jewish boys. In the hotel where I stay, in the building where I stay with my sister-in-law, it was a Christian Jew, a Christian woman. She had 13 Jewish boys there.
Wow.
13 Jewish boys. After the war was over, she came to my sister rented the apartment from her. It's her house and she had to rent the apartment. This was by Russian occupation. And my husband and the 3 boys, because my husband was very good on the typewriter and with writing, and he made out false papers for the 13 boys and we sent them to Italy.
Wow.
He was working with the Jewish underground. And this is the way the boys went to Israel. One boy was caught. I have a sister, she was killed in Auschwitz with my mother and 4 sisters. We had at home, I jumped from one place to the other. We stayed at home till the German came to stay in our home. We had our own factory, seltzer factory at home in our building. And then we had to leave because was afraid the German would take over. Finally, we left to a small town away from my hometown. And we stayed there a very short time. We came home. We stayed in our house not too long, maybe 2 weeks. And we had to go to the ghetto, the Jewish ghetto. I was very bad in the ghetto, very bad. But I was working in a factory by Germany on the sewing machine. I was working by the German uniforms.
While riding the train to the camp, what were your feelings?
Yeah, I was transported to Greenberg, Schlesien.
So she's asking, what was it like to be in those trains?
In the trains, this was not a train with buses that took us there. But later on, a lot of Jews were sent away, a lot of Jews were killed, and a lot of Jews passed away. And we were 6 girls. I'm a family from 6 girls, only girls.
Wow.
And what can I tell you?
So who survived of the 6 girls?
Me and one sister was sick. I tell you, I will come to it. so my mother and my sister went to the ghetto. In one room, there were 9 people. One day, they discovered the bunker. They took out, and I was not in the bunker there because I was with my husband in my husband's bunker. I will tell you how I survived in my husband's bunker in this family. My mother and my sisters were in the bunker. They took them all out. The German discovered why my brother-in-law made that bunker, and they were knocking it, so it's the sound didn't. So they pushed the bed away, and they discovered the bunker, and they took everybody out to the train to Auschwitz. But that woman, the Polish woman, what we paid on a mink coat, and my mother gave her all her jewelry, she should keep the child. She came, find out, and they discovered our bunker where my mother lived, and went to the station with the baby, and he gave the baby to my sister. So how could you trust a Polish woman? Forget about it. I shouldn't say this to a young girl like you, but the Polacs, they hate the Jews and we hate them. Okay? Anyhow, my sister saw the baby. She went to the guest chamber with the baby together, with the 3-year-old boy. In my whole family went right away to the chimney, the guest chamber. And my mother threw out, it was hot, the babushka. She picked it up, our friend. After the celebration, she saw me on Lincoln Road. She bought me the babushka, and I will show you. In a frame I put it.
Wow.
My mother's babushka. Me and my girlfriend, we were maybe 20 girls, but we were good producers. We stayed till we were liberated. In camp.
Because you were a good worker.
Yeah.
That's what saved your life.
That's right. If I would have to stay one more week, I wouldn't be able because I couldn't stay on my feet anymore.
Did you have to cope with hunger?
For hunger, I was more hungry like not hungry, honey. I was very hungry. Honey, weighed 60 pounds.
Did they feed you?
No, we were eating if we produce. How can you produce too much? You have to produce work, first of all. We came in from the factory to the camp. We were marching. It was not too much hard to work. It was a very big factory. It was an English company. And when we came so we got a piece of bread and a little bit black coffee, which I didn't drink it, and a soup. So I saw the bread was so hard, so I sold my bread to another girl. She gave me her soup and I gave her the piece of bread.
How much do you weigh now?
Now I weigh 139.
So you 2 times
Yeah.
what you weighed then.
This is my husband and me. This is my husband and me. And this
What
is
was his name?
Jack Rettman.
Very handsome.
Jack Rettman. And this is my older daughter, and this is my youngest daughter. This is her husband. He's had in Cleveland a pharmacy store. And he was with his parents in business. And this is all his children. And this is my oldest daughter and my youngest daughter. And this is her husband, and this is her husband. This is Shirley. This is my younger daughter with her family. And this is my grandchildren. And the rest is already, I have here, this is already children, great-grandchildren. I have 12 great-grandchildren.
Wow.
I will show you there. Yeah. This is my oldest daughter and me, Leah.
your mom and tell us a little bit about it.
Okay, this is my mother used to wear this when they caught her in the basement, discovered the basement, so they took her to the train, so she caught in the kitchen, it was a one-room kitchen, the babushka, and here my kids put it, Leah Nayed, my mother's name is Nayed, my mother's babushka.